What is up, everybody? Welcome to a little Mandalorian breakdown here. So I'm going to take a peek at some new Mandalorian cards that are coming in Set 2 of Star Wars Unlimited. Kind of see what the archetype is looking like and where I think it could go and what I think it's missing still. So first up, I want to talk about the new leader that got revealed. Bo-Katan Kryze. She is a rare. She is an action exhaust. If you attacked with a Mandalorian unit this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit. So pretty simple. If you attacked with a Mando, you get to smack somebody else with a Mando. If you deploy her, she turns into a 6-drop 4/7. She is a Mandalorian, obviously, and on attack, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. And if you attacked with another Mandalorian unit this phase, you can deal 1 damage to a unit, the same or different unit. So she essentially will at least get her 1 damage ping if she swings at on attack, but she could get a 2 damage ping if you attacked with a different Mandalorian first. So clearly this is something Red doesn't really have anything remotely close to on the light side, right? We're looking at Sabine and we're looking at Cassian so far. Both aggro-based cards. They both want to deal damage to the base. Sabine does the damage to the base herself. Cassian has Saboteur to allow him to deal damage to the base and is rewarded by letting him draw cards when he does damage to the base. Totally different ballpark here. Bo-Katan is all about dealing damage to enemy units. This kind of gives a little bit of a control vibe, but I think she's going to fall more into like a mid-range type of vibe where she just has really good board control. So I'm going to go over a couple of the Mandalorians that we've seen and that are already existing that you might not have thought about already, which is cool. But that being said, we do know that the Mandalorian kind of theme is going to be a red and blue theme. So red aggression and blue vigilance are going to be the cards or the aspects that have Mandalorian cards in them. That was revealed on the stream on May 1st from Star Wars Unlimited. So let's take a look back and using SWODB here to look at the different Mandalorians. So right away we know Sabine Wren as a leader is a Mandalorian. That tag could be important, but I am not really talking about Sabine in this sense right now, but I am talking about the other Sabine. So the other Sabine is a Mandalorian Rebel Spectre, but she's a Mandalorian. And then outside of that, you also have the Disabling Fang Fighter, a Mandalorian spaceship. So here are two different Mandalorian units that already would fit nicely in a Bo-Katan deck, which is pretty exciting. That they're already in the game, were well-known cards, and they're already here. So we're going to go ahead and look down. I'm not going to talk about the Mandalorian, the yellow leader here, although it is funny because they did say they're going to stick Mandalorians mostly in red or blue, but this hero is yellow, so I'm interested to see if any Mandalorians do get splashed at least a little bit in yellow and green. Clearly, this leader is. But I'm talking about the rest of the unit. So we have the Razor Crest, which I've gone over before, but I just want to kind of highlight. This is a really nice 4-drop that's going to let you restore and return upgrades to your hand, and it's a space unit. Super solid. You have the Mandalorian, the unit, who is a Sentinel 5/6 drop, the first legendary that we've seen from this set so far. And when played, you can heal all damage from a unit that costs 2 or less and give 2 shield tokens to that unit. Obviously, we all know that's supposed to go well with Grogu, but a new card, the Follower of the Way, is a 2-cost Mandalorian unit who's a 1/3. While this unit is upgraded, it gets +1/+1. So upgraded, meaning obviously playing a weapon underneath the Mandalorian, but also upgraded with just straight up shields or experience tokens. Both are upgrades. So just a shield token on this, you know, you play the Mandalorian and you drop his ability on the Follower of the Way. It gets 2 shield tokens and is a 2/4. I mean, not bad at all. For what the Mando's doing, he's coming out as a 5/6, and now you have this other unit out there, pretty solid. So there are some decent pieces that I could see starting to come together. I really like the Razor Crest with Bo-Katan because you could be attacking with the Razor Crest, getting some nice restore going, and then also getting some extra damage pings from Bo-Katan. I think that's really solid. Plus, you could be attacking from space and pinging ground units, etc. And obviously, I'm going to say this multiple times through the video, this is just based off of reveals that I have here on May 2nd. So there's going to be more cards that are coming out. And I'm going to kind of theorize on some of those as we go. So next up, we have the Death Watch Loyalist. I'm not going to go fully over this card because it's a villain card. I'm looking at light side Mandos at the moment, and I'll probably come back to this card when there are maybe when Gar Saxon or somebody gets revealed. I'm just guessing, but this is a Death Watch guy. I'm assuming there's going to be a dark side Mandalorian unit leader. I mean, that's going to have some synergy here because they are putting some of these Mandalorian cards, like Disabling Fang Fighter, the Follower of the Way, both of those are, and including Clan Challengers down here, they are not restricted to heroism or villainy. They're both. So, but we have some more support cards here for Bo-Katan. We have Ketsu Onyo, who's kind of a strange one. She's a 2-drop 3/2 with Saboteur. Not only does she have Mandalorian, but she has Underworld and Bounty Hunter. I think all of these tags are going to be very important, so I think she's got a really wide range of stuff she could fit in. She's a Saboteur. When this unit deals combat damage to a base, you can defeat an upgrade that costs 2 or less. So again, that's shields and experience as well, or a Luke's lightsaber, etc. Pretty cool unit. A little bit more focus on the base, which isn't a bad thing. Could set up Bo-Katan when she attacks, and she can go through Sentinels, which is nice, because then Bo could use her ability to deal some damage out, which is cool. But just pretty interesting unit. I look at her as kind of like a side deck unit, but with upgrades maybe being a little bit more prevalent, I could see her finding a better spot here. Then we have the Night Owl Skirmishers, so clearly Bo-Katan support in her family, the Night Owls. Mandalorian Trooper 3-drop 4/3, so just generic decent stats. Smuggle 5 cost for the same aspects. So just a card that you can easily resource and have another unit later if you really run out of options. But if not, it's just a 4-drop or 3-drop 4/3, good stats. Can be pretty aggressive with it, swinging into things that are maybe a 4-drop or another 3-drop, plus triggering Bo-Katan's ability, which is great. Then we have Casca Reeves. Clearly, we're going to have Bo-Katan's friend from the Mandalorian show drop in. She's a 4-drop 4/5, so I like those stats a lot. Bosk stats, but on a 4-drop, super good. On attack, if this unit is upgraded, you can deal 2 damage to a ground unit. So super good, right? Fits perfectly within the theme of Bo-Katan, dealing damage to the ground unit instead of space or ground, but you need to upgrade her first. So clearly, what I think we're missing right now is some Mandalorian upgrades. So I'll speculate in a second, but I'm going to go over these last 2 cards. We have Clan Challengers, 5-drop 3/6, Raid 3, Overwhelm, super solid. And then this is the way. Search the top 8 cards of your deck for up to 2 Mandalorians and or upgrade cards, reveal them, and draw them. So if you've played vehicle decks, Prepare for Takeoff is kind of similar. Search top 8 cards of your deck, get 2 vehicles. This lets you get 2 upgrades of any kind, which is great, or 2 Mandalorians, so you can get units as well. So lots of value on this card right here. Pretty solid. I don't really run Prepare for Takeoff all that often, but this is the way is one I would definitely consider running. So what are we missing? I think we're missing obviously some more units, but this red and blue deck is starting to come together pretty well. I think what we're really missing though is upgrades, and there's multiple cards that are referencing upgrades here, like Casca Reeves and Follower of the Way and Ketsu Onyo, and obviously this is the way. But I think we're going to get some Mandalorian specific upgrades that aren't just shields and resources. I think we're looking at this list now and this game developing into kind of like, all right, well, you can easily get a shield, you can easily get a resource token on some of these cards. That is a nice way to trigger these abilities very easily. But I think we're going to get some weapons. I think we're going to get some armor, some Beskar upgrades. I think we're going to get some utility belts. I think we're going to get some more upgrades. And that kind of leads me to thinking Bo-Katan is going to play like a kind of a heavy hitting mid range deck that has decent unit control with the units on the board, right? Like Bo-Katan is going to be dealing damage to things as she's attacking. Casca is going to be dealing damage to things as she's attacking. I think you're going to have a lot of different variability like that where you're playing these units that have pretty good health. Because if you notice, Casca's got 5 health, the Follower of the Way has 3 health, the Mandalorian has 6, Razor Crest has 4, Bo-Katan has 7. So it's all these things have a little bit less attack and a little bit more health. But they're going to be able to ping things off with their abilities, and then hopefully their upgrades can boost their attack just a tiny bit, or just boost their defense to make them stay on the board. So I think we're definitely going to get at least like 5 more Mandalorians that could fit into a hero deck, whether that be hero cards themselves or simply just neutral cards, blue or red, no villainy aspect. I think we're going to get a few more of those, but then I'm expecting the same amount of upgrades still that are, maybe not just deploy on a Mandalorian, but that are just simple guns, right? We've seen a few things come out. We've seen like the one red blaster, that's a rare, come out, but I think we're going to get a lot more. I think we're going to get some serious upgrades that are really going to help these units win, and I think Bo-Katan's going to fall into a really cool place of kind of this like mid-rangey beatstick deck. Outside of that, the Mandalorian here, we've gone over him before. The leader plays with upgrades as well. You may play an upgrade. You may exhaust an enemy unit with 6 or less remaining HP when you play an upgrade. So I mean, there's clearly some upgrades coming to these decks. We haven't seen a ton of them yet, but I think we're really going to see them. I know this Mando plays a little bit more on the side of capturing things and bounties and stuff, which is really fun. But I think both are important. I think we're going to see upgrades coming out significantly still. I think that's the biggest thing we're missing with this Mando deck. But they've clearly painted the picture a little bit here of, hey, look, here's some Mandos that you could play with. Here's a pretty easy archetype that you could fit the deck into. And I'm super excited to give it a shot. So let me know what you guys think else is coming. And, every day we're getting new cards. We're in spoiler season for Shadows of the Galaxy, Star Wars Unlimited. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little kind of theory crafting slash spoiler review video. I'll probably do a few more of these for the different archetypes that are coming. I kind of like lumping it into an archetype and thinking about the decks coming up in that type of sense. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment. Let me know if you liked it or not. Subscribe to the channel while you're at it so you don't miss a video. And just keep on swinging straight at the base.